What's up, everybody? This is In the Pocket, where we talk about the things and people around sports that you want to talk about. I'm Big Bob. That's Maestro. Maestro, how are you doing today?
Outstanding, my dude. It's a beautiful quasi spring day here in the South, and you know what we do when we do that? We always get the pigs out and start. Never mind, I went too far with that. How you doing, brother?
I am doing great. You know what? I think we might be with wind chill. I think we might be on like our ninth or 10th straight day of negative temperatures.
Ooh, love it,
I
love it,
love it. And I still wear shorts. I don't even care.
my man, my man.
Well, Maestro, this has been a eventful week in sports,
Yeah.
to say the least, and not in a good way. I think we can
Oh yeah.
agree on. So let's start off with one of our one of our newest fans, or I'll say followers. I don't think they're a fan yet, but Mr. Nobody on TikTok asked why the hoodie is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he disagrees with it and thinks that's a load of doo doo. Mr. Maestro, how do you
Mr.
feel
Nobody.
about this?
I'll tell you, Mr. Nobody. Appreciate that question, man. And I'll tell you something. I have stated a lot of this stuff for a while, so unfortunately, I'm gonna bring you let you sit in and audit a Maestro 101 class here. I have stopped being a fan of Hall of Fames and MVP awards and Heisman Trophy awards a long time ago, because the more I started doing stuff within the business, so to speak, the more people who voted for these things that I met, the more I found myself just really going, okay, some of their philosophies, man, are just whack. And I'm saying that, and I don't get a Hall of Fame vote on anything. I don't even get like a HOA award a vote. Okay, so keep in mind where this is coming from. But to me, and something I've always said there, Mr. Nobody, I've always said that we as fans, we want writers, right? We want writers that are good, that's going to give us good topics, going to give us good votes, going to give us good rationale for who they think is good. But a lot of those writers who cast those votes, they need us. They need fans. So I'm gonna say this: the fact that there's even a conversation about Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer shows you how whack it is. Because by any metric, whatever you want to call it, he has won the most Super Bowls. He has had the most successful team in the history of the NFL. He has had, or should say in the history of NFL, I should say in the NFL Super Bowl era, ironically enough. And also what he's done as an assistant coach. Remember, he was there for Bill Parcells with
Yep,
those two championships with the Giants
yep,
as the defensive coordinator.
yep.
So, so now here's how this stuff works, Mister Nobody. There are probably some media people out there who said, "Here's my chance to stick a finger in his eye." He
Yep.
was rude to me at a press conference. He he might have, he might have taken a last donut hole at some commercial event or whatever. Just something that doesn't make any sense. And 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 I've heard tales of writers saying stuff like, and again, I think I said this on the show already. One of my favorite media people, completely favorite media people ever, and I'm not going to say his name because here's where I really disagree with him. He votes for he gets a significant award vote every year as a longtime writer of this particular sport, and he does it alphabetically. So he gets so many votes. I think it's 7 votes or whatever, and he just goes through the list alphabetically. And once he gets to the seventh name, he just stops. So if your last name ends in a W or a Z, no matter how good you might have been, he's not going to get to you. And and to me, that's that mentality about it. It bothers me. It's his right to do it. He's earned the right to get that to get that vote. He can do whatever he wants to do with it, as they should and as they could. But I just feel that sometimes writers and those people who get those votes are completely out of touch. And that being said, that's what I feel is going on with Belichick. I really feel as though it's either something personal in that something he did to somebody at a press conference. Maybe there's an undertone of that. He cheated and got away with cheating for so long that the writers want to say, we're going to sit you in timeout for a while. Who knows? It doesn't make any sense. It'll never make any sense to normies like us because we see what somebody does on the field. We don't know all the secret behind the scenes stuff that goes on that they know. And because of that, we'll never really know the full, I'm going to say complexity, and I really don't mean complexity, Bob. Um, we don't know the full nature of why some of these decisions are made that looked on the outside that look to us like they're just totally just unintelligent. So I just say it that way. Mr. Nobody, I agree with you. I'm just going to leave it at that. I agree with you. And who knows why he's not. And quite frankly, I don't think we'll ever really find out, no matter whatever goes on. Bob, what
Yeah,
you think, babe?
I mean, there is no explanation on why he is not in it. I think the overwhelming thought is Spygate, Deflategate. Let's be honest. They got caught. They weren't the only ones doing it. They weren't the first ones doing it. They're not going to be the last ones to do it. There's still teams doing it now. They got caught. They had their JV team out there recording. Was it Jets practice? Was it Jets practices? Or
It was
I can't
Jets
remember.
practice, but the one that actually got the most attention was when they were in the Super Bowl against the Panthers.
Well,
because even the Panthers players were saying that as they were going to their formations, they could hear the defense saying, "Okay, they're going to motion over here, blah blah blah, whatever," and basically they were just calling out their plays, as if they knew them already. So that was I think that was when they got the most attention.
let's be honest though. Even just looking back 10 years ago, offenses aren't as complex as they are now, and people use Brady as an example when it comes to somebody who studies the game and wants to know the ins and outs of their opponent. You are going to find those little telltale things. Are the offensive linemen's knuckles white whenever they're in the ground? If they are, it's a good chance it's going to be a run play. If they're not, good chance they're going to drop back into pass coverage. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed to be a run or a pass, but there's telltale signs. And certain formations, certain placement of the wide receivers, could be in the backfield, could be lined up inside. Those things give away the plays, whether people want to admit it or not. So the cheating, clearly, that's going to be the number one thing. There is the rumor that it was Bill Polian who kind of pulled those strings and pushed for him not to make it. Again, this is and I'm not going to go into this. It's going back to how teams threw fits over SMU when they got the death penalty. They were giving players cars and paying blah, blah. Teams were doing it back then. SMU was just dumb and got caught. And teams are still paying players up until the NIL, and now they're really paying players. So yeah, there's zero explanation for why, and we don't typically pull up stats. We do on occasion. We don't typically do it, but I'm going to pull these up, and you tell me this is not someone that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. 8 Super Bowl wins, 6 as a head coach, 12 Super Bowl appearances, 9 Super Bowl appearances as a head coach, most playoff wins as a head coach with 31, most playoff appearances as a head coach, 19, tied. Most divisional championships as a head coach, 17. He has 300, I believe it was 333. I don't have that number, but I think I watched a video the other day. 333 wins, I believe, as a head coach. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. One thing that I did see whenever I was pulling up those stats was one of the writers who said they didn't vote for Belichick, and it's because there's players that he feels like has deserved to get in that didn't get in, so he's not going to vote for Belichick over them. I'm sorry. This is arguably the greatest head coach in the history of the NFL. And obviously there's always going to be arguments on who's the best in every single sport. You look at every single decade. But he's arguably the greatest coach in the history of the NFL, regardless if the Super Bowls were on Brady's back or not. And that's also something that people will debate. He was still there. He still led.
Thank
They
you.
did it. They at the end of the day they did it together, and they would neither of them would have won this many without the other.
And Bob, thank you for saying it that way, because the reality of it is, I find it immature and very annoying if you have to do a yeah but on somebody. People end up with the teams they end up with. People end up in the situation they end up in, and they either succeed or they don't. Now, people forget that Belichick had a coaching stop before the Patriots, and it was miserable.
Was that for 3 hours?
Yeah. Well, there was the Jets too. So right. So the team he actually walked on the sideline with
there you go.
were the Browns. If you don't know the whole story behind Bill Belichick coaching the Jets, please look that up. Because if I talk about it, I'm really going to squirrel off here. And
didn't he just leave a note on the? Didn't he just leave a note on the podium?
He left a note on the dais, basically saying whatever he said. Just look it up. Trust me, no matter how crazy it might come across you, the reality of it is even worse, because I've even heard other stories about this.
I'm pretty sure the note just said JK LOL. Look it up. I think that's fact.
So it's like, and oh, by the way, the whole reason why he drafted Tom Brady was because he knew Parcells wanted to draft him, and he picked him one spot before the Jets. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. So here we go. So all that stuff being said, no matter how you want to cut it, right? Just the to me, the idea, Big Bob, baby, and brother, I mean, man, you really laid on it. To me, I think here's something else the Hall of Fames get wrong. We're only gonna put in a certain number each year. So all of a sudden, so all of a sudden you get cats that are from one era being rated against cats from a different era. Rule changes, all this other stuff. The numbers are not going to match. They're not going. It's not going to be apples to apples. That's something else that most Hall of Fames get wrong. It should be, and quite frankly, should be this. No, not everybody can be Wayne Gretzky. Okay, not everybody can be the person that. And if for those who might not know, Wayne Gretzky, they basically just when he said he retired, they waived the whole wait period, put him in the Hall of Fame. We know he's going to be there anyway, and not everybody can be him. But there's somebody who played, and they were so significant at the point where people feel as though that they're Hall of Fame worthy. They should be in the Hall of Fame, particularly unless, and if there's stuff, the reason why they shouldn't be, those writers should come out and say, here's why I don't think they're worthy of the Hall of Fame. Because I look at a guy like Dale Murphy, who was 2-time MVP in the National League back in the start of the steroid era, and he didn't. And the fact that he was always a guy you had to look out for in the lineup. And yes, he played for the Braves, and then he went going to play for the Phillies. And him having his issues. Andrew Jones just get into the Hall of Fame when everybody would talk about how there was no outfielder greater than him other than maybe Willie Mays. And that was people who actually saw Willie Mays play. When I look at in the NFL, it took Ray Guy 178 years to get in. When the doggone punter award is named after him, he's not in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on with that. There at a certain point, it stops making sense. And Mr. Nobody, that's why I really appreciate that question personally, because yes, it becomes a soapbox. I know for me, I'm not going to speak for Big Bob. For me, it becomes a soapbox. But just like how Bob just kind of brought it out, it's like you have all these other moving factors, but when you just look at them raw on paper, or if you actually got a chance to see them do what they did, even if you didn't know the numbers, you knew Bill Belichick was a successful coach and at the top of his game for the whole time. Even if you didn't know the numbers. So again, I'm sorry. I'm pumping the brakes. I'm getting based on my voice early tonight. I don't need to be doing that.
Well, Mr. Nobody, we appreciate the question. It's definitely something that we are probably going to have a pocket lint, a bonus episode for you guys talking about the Hall of Fames. And I know in the past on a previous podcast, me and Maestro, we spoke about wanting to talk about it wasn't a recorded part of the podcast, but off camera, we talked about wanting to talk about the awards, like the Heisman Trophy, and just the contradictions of when people get voted, getting taken, awards MVPs, all those Hall of Fame, all those things, just it's all politics. It's all it's ever going to be. But let's roll this right into another NFL topic: the Pro Bowl. The NFL Pro Bowl. Let's just say, in most sports, the All-Star game nowadays is an absolute joke. From the NFL to the NBA, I remember gone are the days of was this 2003? It was Michael Jordan's, I believe that was the year, 2003, Michael Jordan's final All-Star game. They wanted Kobe Bryant to throw it at the end for Michael Jordan to have his walk-off moment in the All-Star game. And Kobe's like, no, I'm not. I don't care what the reason is. This is a basketball game, and I'm going to win. We're here to win. Ultimately, I think they ended up losing, but there has to be some kind of competition in order for me to want to take it seriously, I should say.
Right.
Now, that changes depending on what it is, but when it comes to sports, I don't want to see people out there like the NBA All-Star game. There's zero defense. In the NFL, there was a time, obviously now it's the flag football game, but there was a time where you couldn't blitz. You weren't allowed to blitz.
Right.
You're saying we're putting all the best players out here to showcase the best players, but just removing the blitz eliminates half of the defense, half of what makes the defense great. And the NFL Pro Bowl, when Shedeur Sanders was announced as as a replacement,
Wait, hold up. I'm sorry, hold your thought, Big Bob. Everybody, I'm gonna bring you behind the curtain. I got the text with the biggest font I've seen in my life from my man. And all it said was, Shedeur, really? And I was like, oh, my man is hot about this. So go ahead.
No, I don't know what justification was there besides putting a bunch of names in a hat and pulling it out. Yes, there are a bunch of guys hurt and not playing. There are some guys that might be hurt that I don't know about. I'm sorry. Put Joe Flacco out there. Joe Flacco has a very punchable face. I will say that. That is probably the only reason I don't like him. His face, very punchable. But there's no denying that he was a very good quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. And he has helped teams not look as bad. He is a reason that I think it was it the Colts? I can't remember. I don't remember. But him running an offense versus Shedeur Sanders running an offense for the Browns, just use them as an example.
Right.
Night and day.
Very different. Yeah,
very different. I think he was was Flacco with the Bengals this year? I'm trying to remember. Because I just read a thing that Joe it was a joke. It wasn't serious, but he was considering signing with the Steelers so he could be the only quarterback to ever play for every team in a conference. So he makes teams look more competent than they probably are. Bad teams look competent. But there had to be somebody else that they could have put out there. Like, there's probably a receiver that I would have thrown back there at quarterback before I said I want Shedeur Sanders back there. What's the Pro Bowl? What is the Pro Bowl? Besides, it used to be a popularity contest. I don't even think you vote for it anymore. I used to vote in it just because it was fun to sit there and vote. I don't think that's even a thing anymore. So how was he chosen? There's 3 spots. You're telling me that he is one of the top, again, with all the injuries, obviously the Super Bowl quarterback doesn't go, all the injuries. Let's say we're saying he's a top 8 or 10 quarterback in the AFC. Are we saying that? Because that's essentially what we're doing by putting him in there as one of the top 3 players at the position. It's such a joke. And I just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of the Pro Bowl. if it's not going to be an actual game, get rid of it. I do love now. One of the reasons I love the combine is just because you get to see people with their athleticism. Bring some games like that, but bring they may have gotten rid of it, they may not have, but there used to be like an obstacle course. I love watching a 300-pound defensive lineman out. They're not
Oh yeah.
they're not fat like me anymore. But thanks, Linda, on YouTube.
Oh, come on, Linda, be cool.
Hey,
Come on.
she told me that I should hop off the podcast thing and go out and run for like 30 minutes. I said, I'm like, hey, look, I might accidentally lose some weight. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I don't. That ain't me. That ain't me. I ain't losing no weight. I might put some on.
We thank Linda for we thank Linda for not only watching but also commenting.
Thank you for the view. Thank you for the engagement. That's what it is. At the end of the thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you. And oh, by the way, it's a safe space. You can say anything else you want to say.
Anything you want.
Yeah, it's all good. But you know what though? I'm with you though. I love seeing when big guys get a strip sack and they're trying to make it to the end zone. I think
you just like the strip part of that, don't you?
Well, there you go. Hey now. So
hey now.
Yeah. You're right. I'm with you on that. Big Bob, you really have something onto that. I'm just gonna be straight out with you. I feel the exact same way you do. I would rather see them do like a skills competition.
Yeah.
Where it's like, so people can actually see the accuracy and ability of these cats who can actually pass the ball. So when announcers say certain things like, "Oh, there's a pretty spiral," or "Wow, he dropped a dime in the bucket," and those things, actually watch those drills that these cats do on a regular basis away from the camera to let the fans in to see how much work these cats actually put into it.
Yeah.
And what kind of level they really are in. I would rather see that. And I know this isn't really answering the question, but I'm just going to say this because I really respect this guy. Known him for a long time. And one of those times when you can say this person has never changed despite their success, this guy's one of these guys. That's Shaquille O'Neal. He used to do a thing called Shaq Versus, and it might be available. And, it might be available now on YouTube.
I think so.
Or whatnot. So go back and look at Shaq Versus, and there were a couple that I really wanted. I really think people should watch. One is when he actually does a swimming contest.
I was gonna say, didn't he swim against Michael Phelps or something?
He swam against Michael Phelps, and oh, by the way,
I think that was the first episode. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
You know what? No, you're right. No, I think you're right. Because the problem was I was not in the country, so I'm getting the episodes like out of order. I think so. Here he is, 7'3", 380 whatever pounds, 360 pounds, whatever he was, going against a swimmer like Michael Phelps. And so he had to do X number of laps against Michael Phelps doing whatever the other number of laps were. And he legitimately worked out and trained and did his thing, which shows you to know if he would have did that in basketball, oh my Lord.
No, but that's a whole nother. That's a whole. I don't even want to.
I'm sorry. I'm going to put the scab back. Okay. So, but it's just the way that he went about that process was monstrous. And it was like, man, it was so cool to see him push himself and something he wasn't good at and not being afraid of not being good at it and putting himself out there. And he made that Michael Phelps beat him on the last lap. And even Michael Phelps said, I had to actually gear up because, those athletes, they know their body so well. And Michael Phelps said, yeah, I was going at like maybe 3/4 because, I figured it's Shaq, I'm going to go 3/4. But then he realized where they were. He said, I had to actually ramp it up. And that's the only reason that he beat Shaq on that last lap. Please go look up that one. Another thing to look at is to learn about these guys' mentality. Charles Barkley loves golf, and he doesn't mind looking bad trying to play golf. And it was Shaq had a partner and Charles Barkley had a partner. I forgot who their professional golf partners were. But at the end, on the very last hole, Charles Barkley had I was like a 6 foot or 8 foot putt. to win the whole thing for the day. And he missed it. Came up way short. I don't even think he got the putt halfway there. And Shaq had this incredibly long, winding, double move putt that even the pros were saying, man, I don't even know. He said, I'd be happy just a 2-putt from here. So these are guys who do it for a living. And Shaq, in his mentality now, admitted that he wasn't a good putter, admitted that, he had just started playing golf so he could do this episode. Up until the fact that we saw him get fitted for clubs. This is how far he went for this episode. He walks up there, and his mentality of being a competitor, he dropped that. I think it's a 28 or 29-foot putt. He dropped it like Tiger Woods at the U.S. Open. It was but what was the fact that he made the putt? It was watching his mentality of, I'm going to make this. I don't know, I'm not going to try to shoot, but I'm going to and it shows you the difference between a champion, somebody like him, who is just, I'm going to be great at it because I'm just going to be great at this, as opposed to somebody who says, I hope I can do this. And it's a difference. And I'm going to come back to the Pro Bowl now. I'd rather see those guys do stuff like that so we can get a chance to see them in their element, doing those skills that separate them. Again, Shedeur Sanders is closer to Tom Brady than, I'm not going to speak for Big Bob, but then I am to Tom Brady. Okay? So that being said, though, I know some people might be shaking their head saying, I don't know, Maestro.
I think you might know. I said right now, go throw some pads on. I'll take you, Maestro.
So listen, I can read the defense. I tell you, one thing I know I can do. I can read the defense because as a wide receiver, you also have to read the defense too. But no, it's just the reality of, I'd rather see that and watch these cats go at trying to, like, there is a legitimate bucket drill where there are buckets lined up at interval spots along a field, and the quarterback has to toss those footballs into those buckets. And then for receivers, there's a timing drill of, this is your route. You have to be to this spot by X number of seconds. And those things are things that regular fans don't get a chance to see, to understand how complex the game of American football is. And I would just rather people see that than these half-played games and other stuff like that. The NBA, they don't play defense half the time anyway, so who cares?
That is true.
but at least I think with the NFL, if they got a chance to see like 4 or 5 quarterbacks get up there and show you how they pop targets and how they do things, and they can actually talk to fans to make it more interactive, I think it would make that, at least that game, more interesting.
Yeah,
and I think people would watch that. That's all.
Yeah. Yep. Jose, I had some things I just wanted to get off my chest there. So let's jump back in with another fan question. It'll be our last fan question for the day. And this one comes from also on TikTok. Shout out TikTok, and shout out to everybody following us on TikTok as well. I appreciate it. Not taking a shot at Maestro. I do primarily run the TikTok page, and you follow us, we'll follow you. I'm all about helping. We grow together. You follow me, I'll follow you, and that's the only way. That's the way to get ahead. There's no egos here. Follow us, we'll follow you. But coming from Fantasy Sports University, they want to hear some Super Bowl parlays.
Oh Lord, mercy.
Let's be honest here. We are not betting men at all. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I wouldn't be able to
gamble with my money.
Huh?
I would gamble with my life before I gamble with
money. That's why I fly helicopter. It's like,
fly helicopter.
Man, them carnival people get me. I dropped $40 on a game one time and walked away with a I don't know, like a 6-inch stuffed animal. But I'm not. I know that I cannot bet because I will lose a lot of money. But I don't, Maestro. What do you think? I mean, let's do parlays can be a lot of things. But let's create our own three thing parlay.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's do that ourselves. Number 1. The most important part of the Super Bowl. How long do you think the national anthem will last? Over or under 2.5 minutes?
I'm going over.
Over 2.5 minutes. If I know for a fact there's a legit number out there. I didn't look it up, but I know usually it's like 2:45, 2:20. I don't know. Over or under 2.5? We're going over 2.5 minutes. Is that what we're doing? Over two and a
Yeah,
half?
I'm there. I'm there.
Over
And
two and a half
and
minutes.
yeah, and I don't mean to be rude, but I was actually lucky enough to be there when Whitney Houston did hers. And I'm sorry, I'm just I'm spoiled. That's like
So
wow.
let's add a little. This is a three thing parlay. We're gonna add a little notch here, and we're gonna add a fourth thing into there. How
All right.
long do you think the Brave is gonna be?
Oh.
Over or under 12 seconds? Let's say,
Ooh.
Brave.
Gonna say I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say an under. Under. I'm gonna go
Under
under 12
12?
seconds.
All
Yeah,
right.
because I don't think anybody sings like that no more. I don't know. I could be wrong. Yeah. I'm gonna go under 12 seconds. But it's close though. Oh my god, dude, that's good. Dude.
I was gonna say 15 seconds. Like, no, that's long. 10 seconds seems a little short. 12 seconds. I mean, it's a chance. 12 seconds, there's a chance.
Dude, that's a great number, man. You sure you're not a bookie out in Vegas, man? That's a great number. I'm gonna say under, but I feel itchy about it.
All right, next we'll go. We'll do two legit ones. We'll do one for each team. Let's go.
Fair.
Drake May. No. Patriots offense. Over or under 2 offensive touchdowns.
In the first half of the whole game.
The game.
Oh, Big Bob swinging the hammer. Oh my Lord, you made it 2. Oh, not even 2.5. He made it 2. Oh my goodness. Oh, dude. I know the Seattle defense is tough, but I got faith in those Patriot boys, man. I think if anybody could figure it out, but this is it though. They just proved us they didn't even score. They proved us they can win a game by just scoring 1. So, you suck, Bob. That's awesome. Oh my God. That's okay. I'm stepping in it. Maestro's gonna step in it for y'all. I'm gonna say over 2 touchdowns.
Over 2. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go with Seattle one. I'm gonna stick with the. Oh, do I want to go with the team or?
Oh, you winning now? Let's go. Come on. We look. We ain't got to stop at 4. We make the rules.
Seattle. Oh no, I can't. I guess that's not I have one, but I don't think it's really a parlay because all parlays are over under things. So I'm trying to think of how to word the one that I want to ask.
No. They're not. No, they're not, because you could say you could say as one of the bets could be, will they score a defensive touchdown in the first? So no, they're not all over and under.
I'm going to please. I am not a Patriots hater. I want to preface that. I absolutely love Tom Brady. At the end of the day, everybody complained about them winning all the time. I wanted him to keep on winning just to keep upsetting people. I'm just going to be honest. However, this is not Tom Brady's Patriots. I like Drake May. Drake May is the future. I think this is the Patriots. This is going to be their norm again for the next 8 to 10 years. Getting the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. However, this is not their year. If I'm giving away my prediction, which we'll talk about next week, Seattle's defense scores more touchdowns than the New England Patriots offense.
Oh, you dirty dog. Oh, you dirty dog. Because they are the top scoring defense in the NFL, correct? Am I right with that?
I'm not sure. I know they scored touchdowns against my Vikings. Thanks, Max.
Yes, they did.
Thanks,
Yes, they
Max,
did.
with your
Yes, they
no
did.
look behind the back pass at the end of the half. Thank you,
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah. No, you're right.
While the game was still in reach. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah. My poor baby. My poor Bob.
Sorry,
Poor
let me
baby.
take.
It's okay, boo. It's okay.
We
I
teach
got
the
you,
kids
boo.
I work with coping skills every day. Like, oh,
in in with the good, out with the bad.
oh.
That's
All
my
right,
boo. That's my boo right
we're
there.
good.
I'm gonna. You know what? Wow. Because that defense is so explosive. They play with such emotion. They're so explosive. If anybody can take advantage of the mistakes that the Patriots might make, it could be them.
Now, please
Man,
remember, you just
yeah,
said the Patriots offense was going to score
yeah,
more than 2 touchdowns.
yeah. But not. Wait, two things can be true at the same time.
That's
I can
true.
say,
That is
I
true.
can say, I can say yes to the dress and no to the shoes, or I can say yes to the dress and yes to the shoes. This is what it is, babe. Uh, wow. Is it okay? First of all, is it possible that the Seahawks defense can score more than the Patriots offense? The answer is yes. Oh,
let me because I feel like I set you up here. Equal
okay.
to or more.
Ooh, equal to or more? I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see that if there's a bad snap, those guys and the Seahawks defense is so fast. They have speed. Even their nose guard, I think, runs a sub 5. They're just so fast, man. So yes, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say equal to or greater than. It is. I would. It might be a really long shot, but I would feel comfortable taking that. Now, keep in mind, my favorite team means that I'm not good at making good decisions. So here we go. Look, there we go. There it is, right there. So, but yeah, I can go with that. I can go with that. I
All
can
right.
go with yes, equal to or
There we
more.
go. Fantasy Football University. Actually, I do want to make Fantasy
Yeah, get it right.
Sports University. Over 2.5 minutes for the national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Under 12 seconds for the Brave at the end. Over 2 touchdowns for the Patriots offense. And for the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Seattle Seahawks will score equal to or more touchdowns than the Patriots offense. There it is. That is the in the pocket parlay for the 2026 NFL Super Bowl.
It don't get no weirder than that, baby.
But thank you for the question. We're not.
I know it is.
I love the again. We're not bettors. We're not. We that's not our thing. But we can have some fun with it, and we can talk about. I mean, at the end of the day, you can bet about anything. So
I love getting pulled out of our comfort zone.
yeah,
I really do. It's just because again we said we look okay for those of you who might not remember from the first episode. Big Bob and I made a promise. We said we want to talk about stuff that our listeners, that our family, which we consider you guys our listeners and family, want to hear and want to talk about. And Bob and I are both not afraid to say I don't know, and we'll do research. Now, granted, Bob does the research, and I just kind of pull it out of historical things since I'm like over 980 years old. So like I have some point of reference to go with. Like I remember the days before we had electricity, that kind of thing, right? But when you come up with these questions that pull us out of the comfort zone of like what's going on in the terms of the mainstream view, those are the questions we really, really love. Like that Royal Rumble question we got. You want to stick your nose in that one?
Hey, and that was a question from me because I wanted to pull us out of our comfort zone a little bit too. But no, I have. I mean, I have people at work that do you talk about soccer or anything? I said we don't, but if people want us, we'll talk. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is what you guys want to hear. If you guys want to hear us talk about some soccer stuff, you let us know. We are all about whatever.
My favorite sport fans, well, you don't know who might not know my history or whatever, and you haven't heard me before. My favorite sport, period, is cricket. And you don't get a lot of cricket talk in the United States.
No.
My other favorite sport outside of rugby, because I like rugby more than I like American football, I like curling. I like the sport of curling. I do. And oh, by the way, just get this out the way right now since I've already outed myself. I love hockey. how to do it. I'm so spastic. I heart hockey big time. So, please never feel like a question's out of bounds with us. I don't care what the sport is. And as a matter of fact, if you find a sport and you make us have to look up something, now, granted, don't just go look up something and say, let's see them talk about this, because we're going to ask you questions too. Now, you better know what you're talking about. You better really like it. All right. Now, I'm just saying, it's kind of like collard greens. It's either really good or they suck. It's no in between. So,
yeah. You said they are either the best thing you've ever had, the best collard greens you ever had, or they are the worst collard greens you ever had. There is nothing in between.
No in between. No in between, boo. No in between, baby. No.
But I will say, everybody can look at me. I will say, butter saves a lot of things. Butter saves a lot. but you brought up curling. I love me some curling, but I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch no curling during the Olympics. Yeah. They got to fix. And I'm not someone. I'm not gonna lie. I can't watch recorded sports. I need that instant gratification of knowing what happened. So if I don't watch it, I'm looking it up and figuring it right out. I can't go back and watch a recording of it. But hey, go ahead.
The one great thing about the interweb thingy, where you can watch stuff that's happening in other places, and it streams through your telephone line and all that stuff.
Yeah, your telephone line. You still have. You got to. It's my landline. I got my.
You know what I'm saying? The one thing I love about it is, like, I can now like there's a channel that all they show is cricket. Or I can find sports like curling, and I can actually watch them. And just I can watch rugby. All the sports that I love, I can now watch, because they're not going to get shown on ABC or NBC until the Olympics anyway. So now I can, like, year round, watch those sports. I can watch club matches. I'm sorry. It's just what it is for me, dude. That's what it is.
I know we're so far off topic and we're just talking at this point, but we are going to get to our. I told my show before the episode aired. I said, I need a Royal Rumble prediction from you. I said, Royal Rumble's this Saturday. We need a prediction. And I knew he was looking up and around. He was looking all around. He's like, I don't know, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Andre the Giant,
Jerry the King Lawler.
But
Bill Superstar Dundee, Mr. Rattler too. That's how far back I go.
But I want to say, what I love about sports is the athletes can be, and I'm going to talk primarily football. They're such amazing athletes that even if the NFL isn't their thing, the different sports that they can go to succeed, I would love to know. And it's close to me because I'm a Penn State fan, and anybody who followed Penn State, they know of a football player named Journey Brown. And he had a breakout year, and he was going to be our star the next season. He had a heart issue. He wasn't able to play anymore and had to retire. He is a tire changer in NASCAR.
In NASCAR,
But the amount of, because they look for these great athletes, and I'm pretty sure that he's been promoted to one of the most important tires. It's been a while since I watched NASCAR, so once my guy retired, I was a Tony Stewart fan. Once he retired, I was out. But I know I'm going to watch the Daytona 500 the Daytona in the Truck Series, because he's coming out of retirement to drive a new truck to test it out for them. But it's just amazing what these athletes can do, and I know we always crap on athletes, just in general. They talk about things that we don't feel like they should talk about. At the end of the day, we have a podcast. We can talk about whatever we want. So why can't the athletes talk about whatever they want?
Agreed.
If they can.
Agreed.
I don't have to agree with them. Some of them are just annoy me. Like, Joe Flacco, I'm sorry. Joe Flacco, putting all bias aside, you were a very good player, but your face, your face. I just something about it.
It's your
Something
face.
about it.
It's
Jay
your
Cutler.
face.
Jay Cutler. Something about your
Yeah,
face, brother.
yeah,
Something.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah, it is.
it's just the it's such great athletes, and I think people should really like look up and see what all these great athletes, the things that they do out, because we always wonder what happened to this guy. He was such a star. He was supposed to be a sure thing out of high school, and all this stuff, and things happen,
Na-
but because of their
NASCAR
athleticism, they can move on to different
and
things.
NASCAR actually recruits.
Yeah,
They actually
yeah,
recruit top
yep.
level, and was really lucky. Was in Concord, near Charlotte, North Carolina, where the whatever that race the track is called there in
Is it
Charlotte,
is
and
the Charlotte Motor Speedway?
that sounds right. Um, and there was a clinic going on one day. Got a chance to watch them train those cats, and I'm talking it was beautiful, man. And like you said, to watch these athletes, you know, and it was a whole thing of, there were women being trained too. Former, I recognize some of the athletes because some of them had played volleyball and basketball in Division One, and here they are out there wearing the suit, learning how to change tires, and how to do just it was just it's when you beautiful athletes, your body is your instrument. So there's probably nothing you can't do. And you think about some of the greatest athletes of all time. If you don't know a guy by the name of Jim Thorpe, look him up if
Yeah,
you want to.
yep.
Look, Bob Gibson, the pitcher, he actually played for the Harlem Globetrotters. It was a top basketball player at Creighton University. Um, and Tony Gwynn had more assists in his 4 years of college as a basketball player than he had strikeouts in his 19 years in Major League Baseball. So it's just stuff like that tells you what type of athlete these cats are.
hmm
Like. Larry Bird, I think has one. I think he has only has one college game under his belt, and he only played as a dare or a favor to the coach. He suited up, never practiced with the baseball team, or whatever. And I think he went 3 for 4 or 4 for 4 or some madness like that. Just like and hitting a baseball is not easy. Let me tell you, I failed
No,
at it
I
many,
can't
many
do it.
times.
It's hard. It hurts. I'm sorry. I'm a baby. It hurts to hit a baseball. I could have somebody throwing me a 25-mile-an-hour baseball, and I'm hitting it. I'm in my hands. I'm feeling it. It hurts. I'm sorry. I can't do it. But
but guys, Big Bob is so right. It's like these athletes are so finely attuned to be able to do this stuff that they are. And FYI, something else too. For those of you who don't know, I found this out. So when I was looking to go to grad school and do some different things, medical school is one of the things on my mind. And I put in an application for a couple of med schools, and I got accepted. And got to the interview process or whatever, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, my undergrad, I had to go back and take a bunch of pre-med classes. I was like only like in one program I was in briefly, only for like a year. I had to go back and take a bunch of pre-med classes because I had not planned on becoming a doctor. It was just one of those things like, you know what, it's Tuesday, I might as well go see if I can go to med school. So, and actually, no, truthfully, be seriously, like my family really encouraged me to do that. They said, it's something you would probably like that challenge. So I asked after I got comfortable enough with the people who I found out who were on the committee who actually selected students each year. They actually said to a person in three different people in three different situations, completely unprompted, other than my question, said, "We know people who play team sports are really good in the medical field because in a hospital you have to work as a team." And then walk through this whole process. So if you think little Jenny or little Jeremy playing basketball is just something for them to do, they are building a social skill that's going to help them later in life because they're used to being a team player. They learn how to defer. They learn how to work with other people. Same thing with playing in the band or orchestra. Anything you have to do as a collective. The more you're able to work with other people, the farther you can go in so many different careers because of the fact that now it might be changed now because of the fact that companies are hiring, or how you have AI platforms to do stuff where you don't have teams anymore, maybe one person doing it. But to me, there's something to be said about having someone working with someone knowing that we have a rapport, we can work together. They can read me, I can read them. Whatever we're doing, we're going to be really good at it because we're able to feed off each other. That's just something that's very. I think that's a human skill that is underrated in terms of what you get out of playing team sports and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, for me, growing up, when I graduated high school, I think it was a little. I can't remember if it was. I think he graduated college or was getting ready to graduate college around the time I was graduating high school. But the one guy that I will always remember is Myron Rolle. He
Oh
played
wow.
for Florida State,
Mm-hmm.
and he got drafted to go to the NFL. But he's a neurosurgeon. Dude's a
Yep.
neurosurgeon. He was good enough to get drafted. He obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
it, did he make it in the NFL? No, he
He
didn't necessarily. He played a
he
couple
did. I thought
years.
he did. I thought
He
yeah.
played a
Okay. I
cou-
said
he
well,
played a
well,
couple
well
years.
wait, a couple of
Um,
years. I
yeah,
got zero. What you got?
yeah, I got
What I got I
uh,
got zero.
I got thousands of hours in Madden. I got,
There you go, my man, my man.
but I will always like, and in general, people always like to stereotype, and movies do it too. The dumb jock,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Rob
yeah.
Gronkowski,
Oh
he
please.
portrays a dumb jock. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
dumb.
He
He
is
he
not.
is
Oh
not dumb.
please.
But
Oh
Myron Rolle, I
don't.
will never forget. I will
Yep.
always remember like, oh, because they were talking about him being a Rhodes Scholar, and that's what he ended
Mm-hmm.
up again. He got drafted, went to the NFL for a couple years. I think the
Mm-hmm.
Titans were the ones that drafted him, and then he left after a couple of seasons and went graduated medical school, and now he's a neurosurgeon. So
And there was
what?
another guy whose name I can't remember, um, who also became an MD while he was in the NFL. Played one season after he got his MD, and then he just went back. I think he was a pediatric. I think he became a pediatric doctor specialist. And then there's another cat who has a PhD in physics that played for the Ravens for a while. So I mean,
So
come
I will
on.
let you know right now, and I'm pretty sure you're talking about my guy from Penn State, John Urschel. Um,
Yes,
he
yes, yes,
he
yes.
he
Thank
graduated. I
you.
mean, he graduated Penn State with. I'm pretty sure he graduated with his master's degree. He got
Yes, yes,
he got like two bachelor's and a master's degree,
yes, yes.
and he went play. I'm trying to remember if he got a. I'm trying to remember if he was on that Super Bowl team or not, but I don't think he was. Was Matt Burke? It does. I'm not asking any questions because we've already rambled on for 20 minutes about nothing. But no, I'm pretty sure you're talking about John Urschel.
Yes, I am.
He was a
I
Penn
am.
State guy. Love like these guys are smart. These guys are smart. Athletes in general, but yeah. So out of your comfort zone, Maestro. Final
Yes.
question of the evening: Who
Okay.
wins the 2026 WWE Royal Rumble match?
So I looked at those who are confirmed so far. Then I looked at the betting favorites, right? But here's what I did. So I'm going to bring everybody into my process. When Big Bob asked me that, I went, "What the holy brick? What the?" So I looked it up, and I looked up who's confirmed to be in it, and then I looked up each person that's confirmed to be in it, and I made a chart, a list of like who I thought and why, just from just looking at them. And then I looked up the favorites, and I was sort of right with one. And because of that, I picked my number two. So on the women's side, I'm going with Roxanne Perez. And for three reasons. One, Roxanne dumped me a bunch of times. Like, and two of the three times she dumped me, I didn't even know that we were dating. So there we go. So she's got to be tough. The other thing was I just liked her. I liked her athletic build. I like how she functions. I looked at some clips of her matches and stuff like that. I like how she's able to move, and now she's kind of like little she's really twitchy in her movement. And the third thing was Roxanne Perez. How can you not like somebody with a name like that? So
Her name is
that's
a
why she got my.
song,
Yeah, her name is a song. As a matter of fact,
Roxanne.
I'm gonna Roxanne Perez. I'm sorry. I'm back. So anyway, that's why I went with her. And on the guy's side, I looked up who actually I knew more names from the guy's side than I thought I would know. So I really surprised myself with that. And
They stick around forever. They stick
yeah,
around forever.
they do. They do. But I went with somebody a little off the chart that he was not in even the top 5 of favorites, and that's why I wanted to go with him because when I looked at him, I liked him. I figured it's just like picking a horse at the Kentucky Derby. I got to look at him and see what they're doing right now. And my dude Dragon Lee. I just your name your first name, whether it's a pseudonym or not, is Dragon. Come on, dude, it's cool, right? And the other thing, like, I saw pictures where he has a mask on, and I always have been a fan of guys who wear masks. So like, I even thought about wearing a mask in this show, and I realized, I'm ugly enough as it is. Well, let's live with it. But so those are my two guys. Big Bob, who you got, baby?
So I don't follow wrestling as much as I used. I mean, I know enough to know enough about. I can have a conversation about wrestling. Couldn't tell you the last time I actually watched it, but I'm kind of like that with sports in general. Like, I follow sport. I can tell you everything about the Vikings and Penn State and the Sixers. I couldn't tell you the last time I sat down and truly just watched a game. I mean, I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but I don't watch sports as much anymore. But I do with the power of the internet. Boom! What happened? Tell you instantly. I know that Brock Lesnar returned after a hiatus a couple months ago, I think, or a couple weeks ago, whatever. I believe that he is probably the betting favorite to win, along with probably Roman Reigns. They're probably the top two. But
Roman is the betting favorite on a couple of different websites.
Yeah. Well, I know that, and I want to apologize, everybody. I don't know what happened. I just noticed that our glow around our camera's gone, Maestro. What's going on?
Oh no! What did I do?
I broke it. I broke it. Oh well. Hey, you know what? It was there to begin with. I don't know what happened, but I know that obviously the number one thing about wrestling isn't who's gonna. It's not the strongest guy. It's not this. Right. The number one thing is storytelling.
Yes.
So for storytelling, Brock Lesnar, who I would like to see win, isn't going to win. Roman Reigns on the storytelling side of things may have a chance to win, but I think what we may see is Braun Breaker win by eliminating Brock Lesnar. I'm sure that I think there's so let's say what I can see. So I do Dragon Lee. You took
it deep. You took it deep.
Hold on, Dragon Lee. Let's talk about this. Let's not talk about this. I changed my mind. No, there's always here's what could happen, Maestro. Here's what could happen. This is WWE storytelling at its finest. We're gonna have Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker, and Dragon Lee in the Final Four. You got the three that are supposed to be there, and the guy that nobody thought had a chance.
And my guy, Maestro's guy.
But I could see, for storytelling purposes, Braun Breaker eliminates Brock Lesnar to win. I almost said the Super Bowl, the Royal Rumble. But yeah, that's my prediction. I'm taking Braun Breaker for the win, which means somebody. You know who I get. I know, Mike, sure you're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about, but I don't know how hurt he is. I hope that we see a surprise Penta return. You said you like the guys with the masks. The characters are. I always love the characters, and Penta again. I've never watched a full match of his because again. Wrestling, I follow it to know enough, but I don't watch it anymore. But I do know that he is, if I had to pick a top 5 wrestlers right now, Penta's definitely one of my favorites, and it's just based off of look. His look. I think it's a cool look. Reminds me of La Parka, and I think he actually, now that's going back a little bit. Now, again, I say that, but it's one of those things where there's how many La Parkas. There's always a La Parka that passed away a few years ago. We have the WC, but whatever. But he reminds me of La Parka, and I'm pretty sure he based his character a little bit off of La Parka. But but I would love to see a Penta return and win. But Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble, and Dragon Lee. Hey, that's our parlay. Our parlay. You got Braun Breaker, Dragon Lee. Who you guys gonna go with?
Yeah, love it.
But yeah,
Oh,
you
you're
know,
awesome.
Maestro, I know we rambled and rambled and rambled. We had a good time. We had a good time. I was shocked when I looked at the time at one point, and we were almost done. And it was 41
Then
minutes. It was 40. It is
and
not 41 minutes anymore. But
that's how we do. That's how we do what we do, baby. That's how we do what we do.
but Maestro, do you have any final words for the people?
Again, I'm always thankful of anybody who takes the time, who watches our content, and I want to take this time to really give a Big Bob a real shout out. He really puts in the time to get our stuff together, to get it looking right and professional,
I am
and the way.
so embarrassed. I don't know what happened to the. I know I
Yeah.
accidentally smacked the key earlier, and I'm pretty sure that's probably where the glow disappeared to. But I'm so embarrassed that the glow is missing from around our cameras right now.
And guys, the type of details that my man Big Bob goes into, like I remember I sent him like a draft of like one of my solo pieces. He says, it needs to be this, needs to be that. I mean, he just basically, told me what I had to do. And having worked with him in another, in SimWorld and in a previous thing, he was the guy that was sort of like the quality control person. And what I liked about it, you knew exactly what you needed to do to step it to the next level. And he's taking the time with negative resources, and in the middle of a very tumultuous time. I think he shared with you guys that he's in the middle of moving and everything else, and getting his family and everything shifted from one state to another. It's not easy. He's not moving around the corner. He's moving from one state to another in this weather. And so I just want to give him a public shout out to tell him how much I appreciate him, what he does to make us look good, make us sound good. And all you cats for listening to us and taking the time to comment the way you do, no matter what you say, we appreciate it. And just keep giving us topics.
Truly, it doesn't matter.
Keep giving us topics.
We take no offense to anything. If you guys want us to talk about something, as long as it is appropriate for us to talk about, we are going to talk about it or find a way to talk about it. And again, I know we talk. We will talk about anything. This is a sports podcast, but we can twist anything into sports somehow, some way.
We're supposed to be having fun, guys. And by the way, see, I'm wearing something that's not Jet related.
Oh, I did. I know. I was like, I looked for a Jet shirt on you, and I didn't see a Jets logo, so I didn't.
So please, guys, don't do the GoFundMe for Maestro because he needs stuff other than Jets gear. This is actually a Coast Guard shirt. It says "Into the Storm" on the back because I fly helos, and that's when we go into the storm to go save people. And so that's what I'm wearing. So see, I do have something that doesn't say Jets on it. Now, I'm not going to show you my. I'm not going to show you my pants.
No, family friendly. We are family. We don't mark that we're family friendly, but we are family friendly.
There we go. I got you. There we go. All right. There we go.
Well, Maestro, I appreciate the kind words. Truly am glad that we found each other all those years ago. 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I appreciate you. I'm glad we could finally get this taken off. But appreciate you, all the fans. I appreciate all of you. Again, Mr. Nobody, Fantasy Sports University, thank you guys for your questions today. Thank you guys for listening to us ramble on, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.